think Tarantino is going to be the Elon Musk of filmmakers. Calling it out. He's part of a different, he's separate from the system. He wants to stay like that. He realizes the importance of just distribution. Doesn't knock the big movies, but you know, he's on point. And I think he's seen one director after another, some of his buddies, Robert Rodriguez, try to dance with the devil, and they totally get, you know, handcuffed, chewed up, and spit out.
Mm-hmm.
And you're seeing this now with almost every Marvel film, that they're kind of they're unrecognized. They're not distinctive from one another, you know, and definitely in politics and philosophy, it's like Disney mandated. So you're getting like the heavy-handed representation right now. That's all that's coming out of the Disney mouths of Wakanda Forever. And this is a Ryan Coogler um, direction and co-writer. So let's use Ryan Coogler as an example of what Tarantino is talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Coogler had a very respectable independent film called Fruitville Station. That was about a California shooting of a young black man at a subway station, by the subway cops. Um, Incredibly filmed, very low budget. Michael B. Jordan was the lead. So, his next film, Creed. And, initially Stallone had said no. Remember, Coogler and his writing partner were pitching Stallone for a while. And then Creed was Coogler's first, bona fide hit. And then Marvel came courting. I don't think Marvel expected the cultural and Black American reaction to Black Panther, where whatever you think about it as a film, it really brought Black fathers and sons to the cinema, and it was like a phenomenon. So they really couldn't control that. That argument, kind of like that phenomenon. They're controlling it now with Wakanda Forever because, well, Chadwick is dead, and now let's insert, female empowerment, and from everything you're seeing, it's just more of the same. And then, of course, you have the Namor thing, but
Namor.
Namor, sin amor. But now it's like, how far off has Coogler from Fruitville Station? I see like less and less control. I see vision, but Tarantino is absolutely right. They're making these guys cookie cutter directors. It doesn't even matter. You almost don't need a director. I mean, and then what happens is when you give an indie director, documentarian, full power, you get the Eternals, which was, what's the word I'm looking for? Too self-involved, that no one cared about the filmmaking.
Mm-hmm.
So Tarantino is absolutely right. More of these directors, male and female, need to speak out on this, because what has happened now, let's go back to pretentious. That's good. Thanks, Vic B. What's happened now is is the market on big films, action adventure, IPs, they're all owned by Disney now. And that is not good for creative competition. The thing with Indian cinema is that there's six equally strong now industries in the same country, and you're just getting amazing movies. It's just it's just undeniable. You know, both you guys have reviews up in Spanish here on Minete de Español on RRR,
Mhm.
and you could say that is a Indian MCU movie in a sense. you know, it's so. Um, but back to Tarantino and then Rodriguez. What I was hoping was that Rodriguez was going to come in and we're going to get that Alita Battle Angel, Desperado, kick ass, unfiltered Boba Fett. We got the exact opposite. It wasn't even a good like Spy Kids.
Yeah.
It, and I let me just say this and we'll move on. Tarantino probably had some talks with his boy Rodriguez after this Book of Boba Fett fiasco. Because if you remember, up until episode 2, Rodriguez was tweeting about the show almost daily. When the backlash started, he left. And in interviews leading up to Boba Fett's debut, Rodriguez went on paper saying, like, I never wanted to do these movies, never wanted to touch them because of what Tarantino's talked about and the intense fandom. He wasn't putting anyone down, but he was just saying, like, but one of the main reasons he did it was to Dance with the Devil, Disney, so him and Cameron could make an Alita 2. We haven't heard anything,
Yeah,
right?
I think, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
he got played on that, and that's something that I have been thinking a lot out of late.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, Rodriguez sacrificed his career at this point for nothing. Because after Boba Fett,
Yeah.
there's not many people that actually have that much goodwill for him. They see him more as the Spy Kids movies director than the El Mariachi director.
Yeah.
People no longer recognize him as somebody that is really talented and can really do something crazy, but just as a kiddie show, kiddie movie kind of director.
Well,
But
yeah.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
the price of that was having Alita. On Alita, he could go crazy and do something really, really spectacular.
Mm-hmm.
But if that never happens, if he don't get that moment where he can shine again, I'm afraid his shine will just disappear because
Mm-hmm.
the industry is not as forgiving and the public is not as forgiving as used to be.
But see,
No.
I don't think you're wrong. But I'm gonna interrupt.
Mhm.
You're right. But that's why I think Tarantino's speaking out on this.
Yes.
Because even in that same page, if you see the other headline about the Russo brothers, then Edgar Wright, all these directors will not work with MCU Marvel anymore. They will not work. The word is out. So I think as the tides turn, Rodriguez is always going to be Rodriguez. He'll be, even if he goes back and does low budget shit for a while. If it was just him, I would say you're 100% right. But I see a lot of directors revolting as well against MCU and really sympathizing. I think this is Tarantino in a way also sympathizing and backing up his boy Rodriguez. Thank you to all who have donated or are gonna donate. Hit the super thanks and enjoy the video.